Abel Sanchez tells Andy Ruiz, his former fighter, to stop being a celebrity. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Now, Abel Sanchez conducted an interview, link in the description. He had some interesting things to say about a fighter, heavyweight, now star Andy Ruiz Jr., who once trained in his gym. And this is what Abel Sanchez had to say. The things I'm saying is get his butt back in the gym, and talking about Andy Ruiz, and stop being a superstar. All those things come with time. He's a great fighter and he's got good hand speed. He's got a good chin. The trouble Anthony Joshua had is he became a superstar in the UK. Andy Ruiz needs to understand what got him there was boxing, not his looks. So if he stays in the gym and gets back with Manny and keeps working on the things that Manny is working with him on and stays consistent with his training and running, I think he got a good chance of winning. But if he doesn't, Anthony Joshua is a very skilled fighter. I know he's not taking the second fight lightly. He said Joshua in the UK, he has become a superstar. He had his own plane. He had his own limo. Everybody wants to talk with you and take you out here and there. Sometimes you forget what got you there. What got him there was winning a gold medal, training hard for that, and training hard to win the title. Joshua needs to get back to that. If he gets back to that, I see a 12-round hard fight, decision fight going to either guy. Abel Sanchez also talked about his fighter, Murat Gassiev, moving up to heavyweight. He kind of made some excuses for the Usyk loss. Said he lost because, he had injuries and things before in training camp. But I really want to talk about the heavyweight, his former fighter, Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz was at one point working in Big Bear with Abel Sanchez. And I keep hearing these interviews from Abel Sanchez regarding former people in his gym, like Triple G, who left him for Jonathan Banks, and Andy Ruiz, who left him for Manny Robles. And to me, it always sounds like Abel Sanchez is a little bit bitter, a little bit upset, sour grapes a bit. On one interview I heard Abel Sanchez, and he was basically picking Joshua to win this one. He kind of toned it down and he said, either guy can win. But I heard a previous interview after the Joshua defeat and the Andy Ruiz victory, and Abel Sanchez says he's picking Joshua in the rematch. And then he kind of got flack for it. I made a video about it, and a lot of people were like, oh man, he's hating. He almost easily picked Joshua to win, and had somewhat disparaging things to say about Andy Ruiz Jr., kind of like it was a fluke. And people that were formerly in your gym, you kind of expect a former coach to be happy, especially when the fighter used to train in your gym and he's an American. Abel Sanchez is American, and the other guys from the UK, you just in general would probably think that he would have nice things to say. But I think a lot of people are going the wrong way about this whole thing. Abel Sanchez is saying stop being a celebrity, stop being a superstar. You need to get back to training. But I think that's a very unfair thing to say about Andy Ruiz Jr. because first of all, he's the first Mexican American heavyweight champion in history. So naturally he's going to get attention. On top of that, he represents something different for boxing because he didn't have the prototype body and those types of things. And he went against a guy who's 6'6" and does have the action figure look, and he defied all odds, especially on late terms, last minute camp, 5 weeks to train, and those different types of things. So he's definitely getting a lot of attention, and it's newfound attention. Andy Ruiz Jr., he fought for a title versus Joseph Parker, and he never received this level of attention from the media and fans. So, that comes with the territory. It's just like the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors, me living out in the Bay, I've always liked the Golden State Warriors. I've also liked the Lakers, really because of Kobe. But, I always support a local team. And the Golden State Warriors, when they had Mitch Richmond and Chris Webber, Chris Mullin, and different people, they had these different stages where people weren't really a fan of the Golden State Warriors because there's so many other dope teams in the league, like Orlando Magic or, whoever. So you didn't really see all these Warriors fans when Sprewell was playing for them. But then obviously they're doing good in the Steph Curry era with Klay Thompson and everybody and Kerr. And you see more people emerge. That's just how it is in sports. It's just people want to see and be associated with what's hot, what's trending. And that's what Andy Ruiz is doing. He just won an ESPY for the biggest upset. But I think it's unfair for Abel Sanchez, and a lot of people are going this route. And they keep making it like he's not training and as if he's all of a sudden big-headed now. I haven't seen that. I think this, like I keep saying, I think it comes with the territory. Naturally, he's going to get more looks and alley-oops and different opportunities because of the significance of what he did. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen an upset of that magnitude. Like he didn't even have a full camp, So it really feels to me like Abel Sanchez is like almost hating. His last interview he did about Andy Ruiz, he says people are making a big to-do about him being Mexican, and I don't think, he said that's racist, and I don't think people should focus on that. And it's just like, what? And then Abel Sanchez previously said last year, before Canelo Triple G was supposed to happen, the first time the rematch was supposed to happen, before Canelo failed a drug test, he made his own comment saying black fighters fight in a style that's really unpleasing. But now he's saying Andy Ruiz shouldn't be getting extra credit because he's Mexican. People are putting too much spotlight on that. It's just, it seems like he's like maybe upset or something that Andy Ruiz Jr. is not associated with his gym right now anymore, and he, it's not accredited to him. And Gennady Golovkin left. That's what it genuinely seems like to me. I don't know, but from the outsider looking in, it seems like he has more advice and more positive things for the guy who got embarrassingly beat, dropped 4 times, than the guy that used to train in his own gym that defied all odds and has this crazy Rocky Balboa Cinderella Man story. To me, that just seems a bit weird. You have a lot more constructive criticism for your former pupil that was in your gym who put on a career best performance and knocked down the guy he wasn't supposed to even beat, that he was the underdog against, and he did all this to Joshua. And when I hear Abel Sanchez referring to this fight, he's not even really hard. He seems like he's being harder on Ruiz than he is on Joshua, which to me is weird, especially when one guy's from your same country, and I'm not saying you should just have blind patriotism, but that's how a lot of people operate, to be honest. They want to see people, their fellow countrymen or women do well. Like people want to see Clarissa Shields do well. She's an American woman that represented America. So that angle, plus he used to be in your gym. I've never even heard Andy Ruiz Jr. say anything negative about Abel Sanchez. So to me, it just looks like a bit of bitterness from Abel Sanchez, that he's all walking on eggshells and delicate when he's giving, Joshua, it's like he almost making excuses for why Joshua lost. Like, Joshua, he wasn't focused because he had his own plane and he was a big celebrity and everyone was asking these things of him. So it's easy to get distracted. So he just has to get refocused. But then the guy who won, that showed focus to even pull off this massive upset to people, you're harder on him and saying, get back in the gym. You need to go back running and stop trying to be a celebrity and focus, and you'll be all right. To me, that it just seems like just like the crime has to fit the punishment. It doesn't seem like the criticism fits. We're talking about Andy Ruiz again, who defied all odds and pulled the massive upset. You're giving him more of an earful than you are Joshua, and he looked horrible. A lot of people, including myself, Deontay Wilder and others, think that Anthony Joshua quit. He just spit out his gum shield, mouthpiece out. He just didn't want no parts of it. He knew the end was near, and he didn't want to continue to get embarrassed. He had already got dropped 4 times, he just looked like he was checked out. And Andy Ruiz did everything he was supposed to do. So I can't, me personally, I can't understand Abel Sanchez's aim in having more words for how Andy Ruiz needs to act as opposed to Joshua. To me, the pressure's on Joshua. Joshua's in a do or die situation. He must win this particular fight. That's just what it is. It is a do or die type of situation with Joshua, because they pressed the button on a immediate rematch instead of letting Joshua build and grow from this and that type of thing. So it's all eyes on Joshua to see what he's going to produce. Even if Andy Ruiz loses, people will be like, oh, he wasn't, he lived a good life, got $2 million plus paydays. He wasn't even supposed to be here, so he doesn't really lose. Joshua is the one that was supposed to be here. He's the gold medalist. He's the one that has to prove it wasn't a fluke. So if he ends up like David Price, Tony Thompson, then that's going to hurt Joshua more than the loss would hurt Andy Ruiz, because again, the loss, it'd be like Lennox Lewis versus Hasim Rahman. It'd be something like that, where you're like, all right, Lennox Lewis just got the better of him. He was slipping on the first fight. So really, people like Abel Sanchez and a lot of fans are doing this too, who are overly critiquing Andy Ruiz and saying he's just doing the fun shit and eating Snickers and stuff. I think that's, unless you're around him multiple times throughout the day, I don't think that's fair to just assume he's slacking and he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing, and he all of a sudden got big-headed over this win. Media obligations and those types of things come with the territory. And given all the late replacement and all that, half of training camp, I think Andy Ruiz handled the pressure just fine. So to me, the pressure's on Joshua more so than Andy Ruiz even right now. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you're new, consider subscribing. We working.
So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.